Welcome, painting peeps. It's Kathleen from COZ Creations. Welcome to the No Bra Zone. It's a happy place today. We are doing a fun little ditty today. That's our base coat color, which is a mix of the Artist Loft Black mixed with a little bit of the golden turquoise until you get the color you're looking for. Our playing colors are the Grumbacher Burnt Umber, Deco Art Americana, and this is a pale gold. It's a really pretty shade. It almost has a sandy kind of color to it. There's our Payne's Gray, one of my favorite shades of blue. And this is a mix of the Folk Art Treasure Gold, that is the Aquamarine, and the Deco Art Sky Blue Topaz. That made such a pretty icy blue color, which you'll see coming up. Now this paint is one of my favorites. This is the Deco Art Metallics, and that's the pewter. Oh my gosh, guys, so beautiful. Such a nice shade of blue. It is a yummy color. This is a mix of the Deco Art Metallics Pearl with the golden iridescent pearl. I love mixing my colors up. It's just therapeutic. It's fun. And that's a cup filled with our base coat color, which is the Artist Loft Black and the golden turquoise. I made 3, but you'll find out that I actually made 5 little flip cups. Now guys, one of the most important things that I can share with you is always save some of your paints. You know that when we're laying our cups and we get to that last cup, sometimes we put a little extra in there because we're, almost out of the paint. Don't do it. Save those paints. Those paints can save you later on. It gives you the option to fix things, erase things, do different things. Now you're going to see that when I pour some additional ring pours, I don't use all the paint in that cup. I save it, which you'll see me use later. I worked on this painting for about 2 hours. Look at that, a double fist pour. Oh my gosh, guys, this is not easy to do. But what happened is that first initial ring pour, I didn't like it. The brown was coming up a little bit too much for me. So I went ahead and tilted it off and decided, you know what? I'll just kind of start over on top of it. So I did that double ring pour. Now this is kind of cool. It had so much potential, but I played and played and played with it. And I ended up saying, you know what? I'm not a real fan. And you'll see here. Those are some really pretty colors, guys. I wish you could see them in person. That Deco Art pewter just shimmered, absolutely shimmered. I'm noodling, what'll I do? Let's move it around a little bit more. Now this video is sped up 4 times. When I tilt my canvas and I move that paint, I do it ever so slowly. Let's pour another cup in there. Let's see what we can do with this guy. Keep playing. Have that extra paint on hand in case something doesn't work out. Then you can continue to play. If you run out of your paints and you say to yourself, you know what, I don't feel like mixing up some more, you kind of give up. So this is a really good example of how you can keep going to make an okay pour much better. But you have to be open-minded. You have to be a little creative and daring, which you'll see coming up later because this guy morphs into a totally different painting by the end. And at the end, I was happy with it. Here comes another ring pour, just trying to kick this guy up a notch. Now see, I did not pour that whole cup out. I didn't need all of the paint, and those cups were layered in 2 layers, and I could watch that paint come out of the cup, and I knew when we were getting to our second layer. So what's left in that cup is exactly what was poured out of that cup, if that makes sense, guys. Still tilting, still noodling, still thinking about what I can do. Here we go. There's another cup. Once again, watch me. I don't use the whole cup. I put it aside in case I need it. Now this was all going really good, but right there you see I've got a puddle forming, which is going to make my lines a little bit distorted. I tap on that puddle to help it run off a little bit more. Pretty colors here. And look at the sides. Guys, your sides are so important. They're part of your canvas. Make sure they look good. Up here comes that handy dandy little deco art. It's called a writer pin that you attach on the top of your bottle of paint, and it allows you, there it is, it allows you to squeeze out a very small amount of paint. Okay, so the painting was okay. I'm gonna try to make it better. Now that first cup that I poured in that line was the leftover paint in the ring cup. And then I'm using some of the additional colors that are in this painting. We're going to go ahead and swipe it. And we're going to swipe it again. We're just trying to make this pour something special. We're playing with it. That's what I like to do. Now that blue color is starting to look really, really icy, and I loved it. Adding a little more paint over there because that swipe didn't go as I wanted it to. So we give it another swipe. Don't be afraid to do that. And those cells are starting to form. You'll see them coming up here. Adding a little bit more of that turquoise and black. That's leftover paint from the ring cup. There's our beautiful Art Minds blue that I mixed up. And there's our pearl color. Now what's she gonna do? Is she gonna swipe that up? I don't think so. See those pretty sails? They almost have a silver hue to them. Now I'm stacking my stacked paper cups behind my canvas, and then I move to the front of this canvas and I slowly watch it drip. Here I'm helping some of the paint roll off a little bit faster by blowing it with a straw. And I wait and I watch and I wait. I take the tilting cup out, and now I'm going to tilt the opposite way, moving the original cells from the swipe back down the painting. Now this I call my eraser. That's my base coat. And whenever something pops up on that painting I don't like, I use my eraser. That's kind of pretty. Now I like the way that that pearl was playing down there, so I wanted to add just a little bit more. I stretch it down, and then I tilt in the opposite direction to stretch it back. A little bit more pearl, but I wasn't real happy with the width of those 2 lines I added, so you'll see me use my base coat eraser to thin them out. Tilt that guy again and watch it. Once again, this video is sped up about 4 times, so that paint is moving very, very slow. There's my eraser to make that line of pearl a little bit thinner. and tilt back. And then you tilt left, you tilt right, you tilt up, you tilt down until you get that composition right where you want it in your canvas. There you have it. Now I went back in once I turned the camera off. There's a little black dot down towards the top of the screen, and I just added a little bit of paint there to take that away. But I was happy with this guy. It's not what I originally intended, but I was not going to give up on that painting, guys. Hang with them. Sometimes things happen that can make you smile. That's why we play with these paints. Now I'm going to do this swipe again, but with a little bit more intent because I like the way it turned out. It kind of has a little bit of a Gale Burston going on at the top from Life in Splatters. There are my paints, all lined up in the order that I put them in my cup. Thanks for joining me, guys. Be well, be happy, stay busy. See you soon.